Hey everybody, Roger here. We have an exclusive follow-up to Barry Lane of the Snowtown Murders.
Excuse me, it's ma'am. It is ma'am.
I can call the police if you'd like.
Oh, I'm sorry. I meant Tiffany Moore, the drag queen. Holy shit! I'm about to get busted by her. The trans woman who threw up a storm over at the GameStop in Albuquerque, New Mexico. So she had an exclusive interview. I guess she probably wanted to clear the air of some things, but boy, she did not clear any air up. She basically doubled down on her stance about, you know, feeling a victim and everything, and lo and behold, we get what we get.
I wouldn't change a single thing. I would do it 100,000 times again. I would kick over that display 100,000 times again because my actions were justified. I mean, it was blatant and malicious hate. It was blatant and malicious misgendering. So, the first thing I wanted to bring up about this has nothing to do at all with the scenario, but apparently she's a rapper. So she's a rapper, and she has more ums in her rap rhymes than I do in my videos.
But Moore, a local MC and rapper, isn't letting the memes get to her. She's using her newfound viral fame to raise awareness about the transgender community, and she even wrote a song to get her message out there.
We're humans just like you. We're humans just like you. We're people just like you. We have kids. We have parents. We have brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles, cousins. We're just trying to live.
Yeah, my fault.
Yes.
It is ma'am.
Yeah, there's that. But one of the things that stood out to me was when she said that she wouldn't be changing a thing. Regardless of the outcome, regardless of all the things that she did, she would not change a thing. And, yeah, see? Like, I'm rapping like her now. So, she was okay with basically being an asshole, destroying property, yelling at people, being obscene. She was okay with all of that. And she said she would do it again because it seemed like people needed to hear her voice and say drag queens need to, excuse me, and I'm not doing that on purpose. Trans people need to be respected. And forgive me, people, I know drag queens more because that's my generation. So she wouldn't change a thing. So she's thinking that this is some sort of a respect that is owed to her because of her outbursts, because of her rage. She said in the interview, I would do this 1,000 times over because what I did was right, and something like that. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You do not expect people. You can't expect people to respect you with forced indoctrination. That's what you're doing right here. You're saying that you want to force people to acknowledge you, basically, of your supposed of your assumed gender, the gender that you prefer. Now, I think any one of us, myself included, if there was a trans individual who, and again, forgive me if I keep saying drag queen at times, it's just that is my generation. I'm not being disrespectful. It's just what I'm accustomed to, so forgive me. But in reality, any of us, any sane person, would grant any individual the respect of calling them what they want to be called by. I have no doubt about that. I do it, and but you can't force it on people. That kid was scared. The kid behind the counter was scared.
Motherfucker, take it outside. If you want to call me sir again, I will show you a fucking sir.
After I have you busted up, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to drink some of your blood. I'm seriously going to drink some of your blood.
Look up and answer them before you get your ass whooped.
Probably some teenager who was probably his first job. I don't know. I'm assuming. But you had this kid scared off his ass, and you decided that you were going to yell at him and make Hulk noises like.
Yeah, my fault.
You know, making all these crazy ass. You got that monkey or Macho Man Randy drag queen or whatever, Randy trans, whatever. You're not going to get anybody's respect by consistently forcing it down people's throats that you want to be called a woman, and then yell at them and expect that individual or said individual to keep their composure without fear of getting their ass kicked. You understand? You understand that is not how you build respect. You know, the aggro that you displayed in this whole thing is just, it was disgusting. So you also said that your actions were warranted. Damaging property, damaging the GameStop property.
I will show you, fucking sir.
I apologize.
Motherfucker.
I apologize now.
Yelling at people, yelling at a customer who should feel safe in that establishment.
Excuse me, sir. There's a young man in here.
I apologize, but like,
Excuse me, it's ma'am.
I'm sorry.
It is ma'am.
I can call the police if you'd like me to. You need to settle down.
You need to settle down and mind your business, okay?
You are lucky. You are lucky, ma'am, that you are not being sued at this point in time. I mean, there's video surveillance there. I'm sorry, surveillance. That maybe there is surveillance, and we have just not seen it yet. But this person, I would like to find out what all the people there were thinking during this process. I want to get the interviews from them. I want to get the interview from the person who was filming this whole episode and see what happened before that, to find out who was it that was being more disrespectful. Was it the cashier, which in my opinion it sounds like he was just scared off of his mind, or was it Miss Trans? Who knows at this point in time? But you don't get your way through fear and force. That is not how you encourage people to accept who you are. Here's the other thing. GameStop does not need to apologize at all. GameStop, hopefully you haven't fired this individual. I would expect, and I think because we need to get, there's a lot of companies who like to deal with social justice, and they're dividing their audiences, and I'm pretty sure they're suffering as a result. You know, and GameStop, I haven't heard anything from you, but I would encourage you to speak out and let this individual speak out as well. What this is going to end up doing, it probably would not be bad for your business. The kid kept apologizing throughout the whole thing. He's like, I'm sorry. But in the act of the moment, he probably was just twisting his words, looking at this person. I've never seen this person before. It's a man. So I don't think it was on purpose at all. Now, personally me, you can misgender me. You can call me a wetback. You can call me a faggot. You can call me a homo. Whatever you want to call me. Whatever floats your boat, toots your whistle, whatever. You can call me any of that. If you do it intentionally, I'm pretty sure there'd be... And it was meant to anger me. It takes a lot to anger me these days. It really does. Back in the day, it never did. Back in the day, I'd be very offended by anything. Any little thing. But these days, you tell me that, I'm like, I don't care. I don't care. I said that in my last video. I really don't care. Call me whatever the fuck you want. Put it in the comments below. Whatever you want to call me. Roger Rabbit, whatever. I've heard it all. But when you're older than me, and that lady was older than me, you can just tell, you should have a little bit more composure. You shouldn't be so pissed off at the world because they're not able to get your gender correct. That's not fair to everybody else who has just met you. You need to just be okay with the fact that you're going to get, like me, I'm okay with the fact that there's people, like if I travel over to Kentucky, Wyoming, or whatever, and if somebody sees me on the street and they call me homo, whatever they want to call me, so be it. I really don't care. I really don't care. Walk it off. You're an adult. You don't have to play the victim. You're of an age where that shouldn't bother you anymore. You think it's a movement that you're promoting here? No, you're not. All you're doing is you're showing the world with your attitude and the way that you talked. You're showing the world that it is forced indoctrination. You said you would do it over and over again. So you're saying that you would kick around shit, you would yell at people, you would get all aggro on people, and you would do it a million times over? You're speaking volumes to my understanding of this, to the general public's understanding of this, is that you really do want to force this on everybody. You're not willing to allow it to just flow easy. Be okay if somebody misgenders you every now and again. You're going to have it. You're going to have it for the rest of your life. You're going to be angry for the rest of your life. I mean, that's basically what you're saying. So yeah, I mean, I thought it was very funny that the reporter stated that A lot of people think she did the right thing.
Lots of people have made fun of the woman for her outburst. Others say she did the right thing by defending her gender identity.
Please, find me a person that thinks that she did the right thing. I doubt that there is anybody. I will respect any trans person. I always have. I go to gay bars. I used to go to gay clubs, don't anymore, but I go to big gay bars, and yeah, you know, you'll see somebody in there every now and again. Look, we are the most tolerant. Gay people, I think, are the most tolerant people in the world, next to monks and Jesus. But we are very tolerant because we know what it's like. We know what it feels like to be pushed aside and looked at as the outcast, looked at as the black sheep, looked at as bad or whatever, because people look at us from on the surface. What they don't realize is that there's a person underneath, and that some of us actually have the same ideals. I, for one, have the same ideals as any rational person would, and that is this. I would express the kind of courtesy that somebody wants to give me equal to what I give them. If somebody wants to yell at me because of something stupid like that, then so be it. They can yell at me or I'll yell back, whatever. But, you know, what it comes down to is we all just want to be respected. But there comes a point to when you're meeting new people that you're not always going to get that respect. And sometimes it's an accident. Sometimes it's on purpose. I could tell you, lady, if you went through this with someone else and and it seemed, and the actions were different and there was more aggression from the other person, then yes, I would say stand up for yourself. Go ahead. But you bullied this little kid. That's how I look at it. You just bullied this person. And this person did this by accident. You know, gay people have this stigma. The majority of gay people do. The majority of the LGBTQ pi community does have this stigma that we're trying to indoctrinate people in general. And you know what? I see it as well. We are trying to force, not me, and this is why I left. I don't want to force my ideologies on anybody. I don't want to force everybody to think this is the lifestyle they should be, you know, giving their children or whatever. I am this. I own it. But I'm not about to give it to somebody else to push. I'm not about to force it on anybody's life. And you shouldn't be doing that either. It's such a turnoff. It's such a turnoff to freedom. It's such a turnoff to people having their own perception of things. Let them learn along the way. But you know what? If you were a teacher and you were yelling at a student that way, that this is how things should be, you would not last long as a teacher. So you're not going to last long as an ambassador for the LGBTQ community if you keep this antic up. So yeah, Barry Lane.
I was so angry at that point because literally 5 or 6 times he had called me sir and got me so fuming angry, and I was cussing that. I
mean, excuse me. So similar. Barry Lane, Miss Moore, Tiffany Moore. I look forward to hearing your raps, and I can't wait to hear you bust a rhyme with the uhs again more than I do in my videos. Again, learn your lesson. You know, you can either embrace people learning the right way, or addressing you the right way through trial and error, and always knowing that it's never going to be 100%. Might not even be 50% in your lifetime that you get to hear half and half people thinking that you're a woman or a man. Just the way of the world, just the way that it is. Live with it. Be strong about it. Don't be you're being a wuss by actually acknowledging that you're pissed off about it. You see what I'm saying? So anyways, like, hate, subscribe, unsubscribe, share. I love it all. Peace out.
A desperate attempt to fill 24 hours of programming. Here's some bullshit that happened somewhere today.
What's really sad is it's bringing so many bigots out of the woodwork.
She's sitting up very straight. She's taking hard swallows, and she keeps scanning the room quickly. She's got her head held high. So it contradicts the scanning and the nervous look, which should tell you at that point that it's an act. She's taking hard swallows. When I see that, I instantly think something's wrong mentally. There's something neurologically wrong with her. What it is or how bad it is, I have no idea. I can just tell you, when I see that from someone, I mentally think there's something wrong with you. Because that's not normal behavior, especially since it's coming off subconsciously. She's got pretty pose. We'll go over pretty pose, or at least pretty pose in this later. She's taking hard swallows, and she's going stiff, you know, so it was a formal way of doing things. And she just looks over there. Nothing surprising. Nothing, oh, I didn't know that. And this is important for later, because at the very end, we're going to skip to that. There's pretty pose. Head down, wrap the eyebrows, little wave, and then we're twisting our chair because we're cute. And that made her extremely nervous, because now she's gone back with her chin tucked into her neck because she knows that's bad. And then more pretty pose with the defiance. So we see in the beginning, we're going to look real small, give a little bit of a little, I'm listening, yeah, it's real hard. And then we see that by the end of it, the real comes out when these things are brought back up again, the letters, and it's more defiance and stress. We make ourselves small and we're doing a little pretty, it's cuteness. That's what it is, it's cuteness. I'm doing pretty pose. I'm going to use emotion to make you sympathize with me. I'm not coming off as a big scary bear or a Medusa. I'm a soft little church mouse telling you about the evil kitty outside. She's taking hard swallows so that it sounds like there's mucus there. And that's practice. Because if there was any mucus there, for as long as she's going on, and for as traumatic as she says this is, we should not only, one, hear it, but she should be lifting her head up to fight it from coming out. And we do not see that. We see a position that she's forcing her voice to sound as if she does, with no evidence of it. This is a manipulation tactic.
It's not BS, but even if I were to grant you that, okay, the point is the illegal alien crime rate should be 0. It should be, you can do your nails. You know who can't do their nails? Are people who've been killed, Anna, by...
Psychologically, it would be very interesting to see what kind of person this individual is on a normal basis and not just this. Well, we are not going to watch this whole thing because this is like nails on a chalkboard. There's only so much of BS I want to watch. Pretty pose. You see this a lot from her throughout this thing. Oh, we're not going over every detail. Nails on a chalkboard.